The final Fata Friday. After this, Fridays will be illegal. Hi, Dots. Yes. It will be our final Fata Morgana session tonight. I definitely can say I'm glad we played this game. Michael. Open your eyes, Michael. Come to me. Oh. What? What is going on? We meet at last. But why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that. When did we suddenly end up in East game? Wait. Why do you say that, Kuroi? Where am I? Because I've never played an East game. I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here? Do you know who I am? Of course I do. Could I not know who you are? Splendid. What are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hands? And why can I not speak? Why does she look like a child with a woman's head? That is a good question. The girl fits the art style perfectly and she's handing us a sword. Ah, yes. I see. Have you played, like, I'm guessing you've played Ys yourself, Kuroi. What is your opinion? Because I've like, kept little... I've sort of paid attention to the games throughout the years, but I haven't played one myself, and I'm kind of curious on if I would like it or not. Seems like a Trails game, but action combat. I was able to return to this gathering place of souls thanks to your efforts. Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I had forgotten. To remember who I am. Remember who you are? You mean that you're part of Morgana? My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. But my heart told me I had to do this now. Though you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. You've seen streams of it. I haven't played a real Ys. I have, however, played a bootleg Ys, Lagoon, for the SNES. Oh, okay. SNES action RPG sounds like it could be a little rough. Oh, Michael, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I have brought you here to ask for your assistance. I pray you will be able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade and with it extinguish my soul. What are you? Extinguish your soul? I realize that it's cruel for me to ask this of you, and for that, I deeply apologize. But I want it to be you who sends me off. Could you grant this girl her selfish request? That's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished. Because I wanted to set everyone free from the mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to the cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul. I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized that I have no place in their lives. While it's true Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them, if I hadn't been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen-haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for her brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost her place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend. Lagoon is awful. It's basically a bandwagon copy that lacks any of Ys's soul. The only thing that's actually good about Lagoon is the music. Oh, okay. Interesting. Might not add Lagoon to the list, but you never know. Why are you acting like it's all your fault? Are you saying everyone would be better off without you? I was not a victim in the tragedies. I am culpable for them. Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. Ah, okay. Maybe not a game to fully commit to, but just to like sample kind of thing. I get you. You're trying to tell me that makes you culpable. What do you say we answer one last lingering question, Michael?
I'm so excited!
Yeah, we were just talking about the East Games, Rosen. The question of what I am. We'd have a lot of ammo for Peggy commentary, I'll say that much. Yes. I do have opinions on things. Also, white-haired girl's the other side of Morgana's personality, right? The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you ascertained, created by Morgana's mind as it broke down in that tower. I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, to ease her suffering. But there's more to the story than that, Michael. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with great pain resulting from the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her. A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, forgiving. She must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her saintly characteristics and gave them to me, caring for others, putting herself second, begging, being forgiving, and then she severed that part of her soul. So that's why you always seemed so abnormally pure-hearted. I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate. However, I wasn't me yet, either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well, but I have no self at first. I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul, and descended into the realm of man and the fate which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it is born, Michael? Live. I wished for a continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist. I refuse to accept that there's anything wrong with wanting to live. I was supposed to remain with Morgana, as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe. I wished to live, and Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls, though we sought after completely separate things, because we were once two parts of a whole. Each of our wishes were shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world, something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so, the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly, a house that sat outside the currents of time, one that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places, and it was that house that served as a tether for my soul. I mean, it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion, but your own wish. And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed. Which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good, for them to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy. My very presence malevolent. Say that. I was the true witch, the true demon child. Stop talking, please. It should never have been possible for me to have a life at all. Please stop. The universe must be returned to its proper state, Michael. Talk about yourself like that. I must be erased and Morgana's soul restored to its original form. But why? I do not belong here. I never belonged here. What's so wrong with wanting to live? The defect must be repaired. You're not a defect. Damn it. Why couldn't I be able to get a word in now, at least? Restoration will not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long, if not longer, for the process to be reversed, and her soul will eventually return to its proper state, and perhaps when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which that flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be her and whole. It will be her, whole and complete. She'll be a cat? Yeah. Yeah. With me gone, no more tragedies should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to this cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. Please, kill me. If that was a choice, I definitely would not have. You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul, but do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way? Could you do this for me? I cannot. I could never take that sword. I know it's unfair of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish a request as it may be, I want the curtain drawn on this Urset's life by the man I admired so deeply. You admired me? Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we? And where I got my physical appearance. This goes back to when I was a mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within the house, and in the moment of your death, Michael, I was born. You saw my death? Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bore many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch, and while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge. There's nothing honorable about that. I just had lost all hope for myself. I expect you'll disagree with me, say it was a sign of your weakness, but that was not how I interpreted it. Self-sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life. You chose your own destruction, and I admired that strength of spirit. Seems odd that the only way for her to reconnect with Morgana is not for her to go to Morgana, but instead she needs to be stabbed. Yeah, well, she said that it would, like, defy the laws of the universe in order to reunite, right? So, I guess this is her reasoning. She has the butterfly brooch on her, like, connecting her hood piece. That butterfly has come up so many times throughout the story.
The outcome cannot be altered.
Yeah, that's what you think, Rosen? That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, the snow-white hair and ruby-red eyes. Why my name was always Michelle, after the same angel to whom you took yours. I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration. My admiration caused both you and the woman you loved a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, to consider this great favor for a starry-eyed little girl. A girl who quite literally idolized you to her very soul. Don't. I couldn't ask for a greater honor. How can you tell me that? than to be erased from the world by you, my idol, then ask me to kill you. Please, Michael, be the one to send me off. Can I click the sword? No, I'm just kidding. No matter how many times you ask, you can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life. I don't know if you've realized it yet, Michael. This is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation. Which means that up till now, we've never been in the same place while both aware of each other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete stranger, yet you still hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy. I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we formally met, but I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger. By erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Her curse and the eternal cycle of agony it brings will be no more. When I'm gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you, do not hesitate any longer. Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? To release everyone from this curse? I'm delighted to have you finally been able to meet you. The man after whom I modeled myself. I am incapable of taking my own life, Michael. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such, my identity as a saint prevents me from doing so. No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want you to find some other way. For you to live, for you to remain in this world. I know that by asking this of you, I am causing you a great heartache, and for that I offer you my sincerest apologies. But as long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save? It doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion, that no one would have to suffer anymore, that there would be no more tragedies. Michael, take the sword, please. Worry not, Michael. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. You'll cast off the darkness inhabiting the house, set all its prisoners free, give Morgana her salvation, and give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life, even if every moment of it was rooted in iniquity. I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. Oh, Michael, namesake of the great Archangel Michael, and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end, to take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Michael. You must be the one to do this. Oh! Thank you, Michael, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I will be gone from this world forever. I will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, for you to keep just a little bit of me in a corner of your soul, Michael, to remember me, to remember the life I lived, that would make it all worthwhile. Thank you, Michael. You may very well be a genuine what? Don't say a genuine man, because that's like a low. I'm filling my cup with water real quick. 1 second.
The power of water is its ability to take any shape.
I assume angel. Oh, yes, yes, yes. You're a genuine angel. Water will exist forever? Yes, water has been my best friend the last 5 days. The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breasts. So he really did do it. Urgh. Damn it! Why? Why couldn't there have been some other way? Embracing her soul is not salvation. God damn it all! She deserved better. So much better than that. No, now is not the time to grieve. There is work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana. Ugh. Morgana stands there, staring off absently in the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me. What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me. Morgana. How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't. There were two different lords. The one at the estate and the one who locked you in the tower. How? What was he doing there? That's not... I didn't... The man I was trying to curse was the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I... Are you saying I remember wrong? That's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second. You were in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true. Why? Just why? That only makes it that much worse. Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him, and he turns out to be the one pulling the strings. You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved. That should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. This all could have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then. Can sympathize with that monster? In what way? He loved you. He sincerely loved you. And to be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about, to be mistaken for someone else entirely, can understand how that would have hurt. Doesn't matter, that doesn't change anything. Like I said before, you started all of this. It doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does it make me any less of a hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? He doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being. It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature. She. That's not me. Right. I cannot definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say that with certainty that she was a part of you. Creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains that she was closer to you than anyone else, in every sense of the word. And you see the situation you're in, Morgana, the terrible, tragic irony of it all. You've cursed yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation, numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morgana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Should be safe to say now that Fata Morgana's side game is essentially the Jacob story in way more detail. It gives more backstory and detail. Jacob was kind of a... Nice. Oh, there goes Kittle running around. Yeah, I do have the side game. I probably would let this breathe for a while before I play it, though. Because this game was actually quite long. Like, I wasn't expecting Fata Morgana to be as long as it was, but this has been, like, at least 50 or 60 hours. If not longer. Oh, so that game is as long as one of the doors? I mean, door 8 was pretty long, but, like, that would be doable at a point. It's around 10 to 15 hours. Oh, okay. Morgana. I take a step toward her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining our distance. I can almost hear trembling in her voice as she says, "Stay back. You, stay away from me." "Nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. I won't hurt you." I said, "Stay back, you. I bet you think this is hilarious." We can play it after Inescapable Greed Route. Ah! So Piggy probably expected for a game to last when he first thought there was just 3 games. Wait, did I expect 3 doors in the beginning? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it kind of seemed like when we got to the 4th door, like maybe that was gonna like clear up the other stuff and then the game was gonna end. But there was so much left after that. Yeah. That I'm blind and a fool. Morgana. Yes, good on you, my dear. You've revealed my big secret. That I'm the feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death. Discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I always presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew anything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I've made myself into quite the laughingstock. Not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathized with you out of more than just our shared loneliness. She's embarrassed. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. I understand your pain. That boat has long since sailed. That's not Michael's voice. You're right, it has. This is a realization I should have come
My motives
much sooner.
are complex.
Though you said it wouldn't have mattered, I still should have made an effort to get you to know you and excuse me. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away, so I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretched out towards her. She stands there bewildered as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's as weightless as a skeleton all these many years ago. She just like me, lost so much in life. But unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's all right, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the 4th door may have been a fabrication, but the creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseverable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering together. It's going to be okay. What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done? Of all the pain I've caused you? Reminder's necessary. You did quite a number on me indeed. Then, do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me? You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. That much I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will. Nor, I'm certain, does Giselle. You're much too forgiving. I imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbor any ill will toward one of our kind. Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words. How much you irritate me. Fight slowly drains from Morgana's voice. And in the quiet, I hear a muffled attempt to pull back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin and lifting her head. She quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hand away as I reach them into her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. I run my fingers across the exposed flesh, then slowly pull back the hood covering her face. That, quite pretty without your face hidden. I didn't think the flattering type. I assure you I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Oh! Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. Morgana had a less harrowing life. This is probably what she would have looked like at 16. No, you look a little like the white-haired girl. We look nothing alike. I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me. She was also once a part of you. The last thing I want is to be like her in any way. Why is that? Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Just watching her was aggravating. Although, in retrospect, she was everything about myself I deemed unnecessary, so that might explain why it was so hard to watch. Also, I was so sure she was you, which made it all the more frustrating. Why would her being me bother you so much? Because that wasn't you. You're aggressive, you yell, you fight. Is that how she saw me? How wouldn't it bother me that you came back as a quiet, passive, subservient girl? Of course, now I know that it wasn't you, so... You were that sure it was me, despite thinking we were nothing alike? Apparently so. Hold on a second, why would that bother you? I'll let you figure that one out. It's not important. So, you've got my attention. What are you planning to do now? Leave the mansion with me, to set everyone free and break the curse. Setting them free will set you free as well. So you want me to release their souls? Exactly. Just so you know, I haven't forgiven them. My hatred isn't going to just vanish like it was nothing. I'll never be able to forgive them completely. But you're right. This has gone on long enough. Morgana. I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore, and it's all your fault. So sure, I'll release their souls. So glad to hear it. However, I don't want to see them alone. I'm not sure I'll be able to set them free if I have to face them on my own. It won't be a problem. I'll go with you. See them together. You get to be my guide then this time, then. Get to take up Giselle's old mantle. That I do. Even if it means taking this hand. You honestly think I have any reservations about that? God, I swear, you really are the worst. Lead the way, my dear, to where the souls wait. Whoa, now that I've seen your hand, I think the deal's off, sorry. I'm really curious about where Giselle is. Hand in hand, we traveled the cursed mansion's corridors. The halls overflowing with darkness, cut off from the sun and devoid of color. Despite having spent much time in this place, it's never stopped being depressingly creepy. He's in the Shadow Realm, it kinda seems that way. No one, for any reason, should be left behind in a place like this. We crossed through the living room, making our way back to the... out to the back garden door. Okay, so we're doing Mel first, I guess. There are no children laughing beyond the door, but I can faintly smell flowers. Michael, what am I supposed to say to them? Nothing comes to mind, you don't have to say anything. I get the feeling they'll have something to say to you, though. So if you would, try to hear them out. I'm not looking forward to this. It'll go fine, I promise. Nothing that happens could possibly make things worse than they are now. And the only way to go from here is up, so here we go. Let's go then, I suppose. A hollow breeze brushes through the gray-filled rose garden. The shadow standing there turns toward us. It gradually starts looking more and more like the young man it once was. Morgana? It's okay. We're here to set you free. We're here to free your soul. Michael. You forgive me for what I did, Morgana? No, I don't. All this means is that I'm done cursing you. Ah. Either way, thank you. I know what I'm doing here now. Or, I guess, I remember what I'm doing here now. I deserve to be cursed after everything I've done to you. It can't have been easy, that's for sure. Let's play a minigame to free each of their souls. Whoosh. It is not minigame Monday, Rosen. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused. What's done is done. I guess. Still, I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to be friends. I meant it. I really did. I know why you did what you did, why you sold me out. Some people might say you had no other choice, but as the girl you actually sold out, those are words you'll never hear from my lips.
Wow, it's so much fun!
We can do the rebuttal showdown with the swordsman. Shing, shing, shing! Fair enough. Nonetheless, objectively speaking, you two were a victim. Oh, that was Morgana. Do you not resent me for punishing you in spite of that? Huh? I presume you're now able to recall everything, both your first life and the second one I subjected you to, when the house was called Rose Manor. Yeah. What happened then was the result of my wish. You have every right to despise me. The way I see it, with or without your curse, Nellie still would have had the same feelings for me. It was my fault for being too dense to realize she thought of me as more than a brother. Things would have turned out the way they did regardless. The white-haired girl was the spark that set her off, though. And it was because of me that she ended up at that mansion. My wish to see your life utterly ruined, and in service of that desire, the white-haired girl was born into that era as your half-sister. So I disagree. My curse did play a significant role in your fate. Regardless, I don't feel like it would be right of me to blame you. Things turned out the way they did, because I was weak and ran from the problem instead of facing it. Michael wouldn't have had to get hurt either, if only I'd have had more of a spine. I guess calling her Michelle is kind of confusing with Michael here, huh? How should I refer to her then? Girl Michelle then? Creativity is not your strong suit, is it? Well, she wouldn't happen to be around, would she? She has departed from the world. Or perhaps it would be better to say, she's returned to her rightful place in it. The girl you knew as Michelle is gone forever. Ah, that's too bad. I was hoping I could apologize to her too. I believe you've made your feelings quite clear. Not that she would hold it against you if you didn't apologize. That's simply her nature. Oh. Well, Morgana, I'm so sorry for everything. I'm going to free your soul from the bonds of this cursed mansion, after which it should return to its rightful place. Okay. Before that, I've got one last thing I'd like to say. To you, Michael. To me. It was a little hazy, but I did kind of get to see what you were up to until just a little bit ago. If you hadn't done what you did for me, for Nellie, for Morgana, for everyone, I'm not sure I would have been able to work up the guts to apologize. I'm pretty sure I would have still been convinced I wasn't at fault. It might not have been real, but your effort wasn't in vain. Thank you. Welcome. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Farewell, Michael. I mean, Mel. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana. You don't have to tell me that he wasn't a bad person. But bad people aren't only ones who do bad things. Yes, that's true. But having a conscience can be a double-edged sword. The regret so overwhelming you don't want to believe you could do something so awful, that some outside force must be to blame. So I hope you're willing to accept at least part of his apology. Lead the way, my dear, to where the next soul awaits. Oh, the cellar. The staircase leading to the cellar is quiet, the air still. No sounds of flesh being devoured, no stench of blood. Just darkness reaching ever downward. I'm going to have to ask you to go first this time. I don't mind, but why? I'd rather not be skewered. You'll be fine, I'm sure. I doubt he'll attack. I can't say I'm anywhere near as confident as you. So you get to be my meat shield should anything go wrong. Ah, so that's what I am to. We may not have bodies, but we are still capable of feeling pain. You don't have to remind me. I have to say, I'm surprised you actually made it to the top of the tower. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Half and half. Regardless, don't assume you're safe just because you're already dead. If he were to attack and destroy your soul, you would be erased for all eternity. There would be no coming back in any shape or form after any amount of time. Just something to keep in mind. Not worried. We shouldn't have any trouble talking to him. If you say so, then off we go. Mess with the QTE minigame and your save file is deleted, imagine. Because this psycho decides to kill us after all. I push open the cellar door. Behind it, a shadow of a man sits on the floor, leaning against a stack of boxes. He slowly raises to his feet upon hearing us enter, and as he does, the blackness dissolves away, revealing the man. I almost didn't recognize you. Your face, it's not how I remember. It's back to normal. I see. So you weren't a witch. You were a pretty human girl. You look like the little... You look a little like the blind girl. No, I do not. Not one bit. If anything, he looks far more like her than I. White hair, red eyes. They even have almost the same name. I think comparing her to a large, dour-looking man is a bit disrespectful. Don't pretend you look any more approachable. He's not even half the man you think he is. Is that really necessary, Morgana? He is a man. He's indisputably a man, no matter what reason you have to claim otherwise. Actually, can angels be male or female? Can you please cut it out with the angel thing already? So, what brings you two down here? We're here to free your soul. You're forgiving me? Absolutely not. However, I've decided there's no point in punishing you any further. I see. You are, in no uncertain terms, one of the most evil men I have ever encountered. I can hardly argue with that. Should you so desire, I can eradicate you. Morgana, what are... Let me finish, Michael. Instead of letting your soul return, I can erase it. Your existence is a scar on the world. The allure of killing is too strong for you to resist. Even without my curse, you would bring pain and misfortune on others. Right. That would probably be best for me. The world would be better off without me. I know that. I do. But I don't want to disappear. As you wish. Then I will release your soul. Before I go, allow me to burn this into my soul. You must resist the temptation if you are to blend in. So in my next life, I won't be a killer. I suppose it's worth trying. Do your best. I will. Farewell, Yukimasa. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Farewell, Morgana. He's not the only one who derived pleasure from others' pain. Morgana. It's strange. Setting them free, I both feel like a weight's been lifted, and like I'm the greatest villain of all of them. Perhaps by forgiving them, you can come to forgive yourself. But if I forgive them, what does that make everything I've done up to now? The first step toward moving on. Would you forgive those who wronged you then? The woman who tormented you, your brother who made a mockery of you, your eldest brother who took your life, your mother so unwilling to accept you she burned you at the stake, the villagers who falsely accuse you of being a witch. Let's torment Amy next, and that girl deserves it. But honestly, they all kind of do. Your father who raped the woman you love. Could you forgive them? He already did. If they were willing to repent. And if they weren't, what if they showed up intent on causing you more pain? I suppose I'm not acting much better than any of them right now. Let's go. We have one more soul to free. There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Is Giselle really there with you? Because I can't sense her at all. If she were in the mansion, I would know, but I can't feel her presence anywhere. Be honest with me. You can't feel her either, can you? Are you sure her soul hasn't extinguished? She's here. I'm certain of it. Lost somewhere deep in the Mansion of Darkness. Once we've purged that darkness, she should be free to return. Bakura got her? Oh no. See, this is why we have to close the Shadow Realm. I have faith in her. I see. Well, I'm not sure how much this means coming from me, but I hope you get to see her again. I will, and thank you. I'm actually rather fond of her, Giselle. Although I suppose it's hard not to get a little attached to someone you spent several hundred years with. Just attached? Giselle, she's fairly fond of you herself. I can only hope. The smell of cigarette smoke seeps through the cracks in the den door. It's perfectly quiet behind it, however. No chance of no chatter or clacking of billiard balls. I like this segment a lot more than whatever we did for the last 3 streams. So it was like, the game made us think it was time travel, but really, it was an illusion where Michael made the spirits see the truth? I think I'm getting that right. It's a bit confusing if I'm being honest. But I do think that the story is better written without time travel being an option. So it's more like the 3 cursed spirits reconstructed the world that they were in, and Michael was able to be there in that reconstruction and make them understand more about Morgana. The real question is, where the fuck is Giselle? Like, is Michael right? Like, is she consumed in the mansion's darkness, or is she just gone? Morgana appears slightly reluctant to step through the door, or perhaps she's tense. Shall we? Her hand in mine, I push open the door.
And they lived happily ever after.
Oh yeah, totally. A shadow is perched on the edge of a dark green rectangular table. He freezes for a moment when he hears us enter. Quickly finding his composure and marching toward us, determination in his step, the shadow dissolves and it reveals a man. Morgana. Face healed. Dead. It's been a long time coming. And would you look at that? Not a letdown. Was it him that healed you? Yes, it was him. Well, I'll be. I was hoping I'd be the one to have the honor. You lost that qualification when you... Yeah, I know. I'm the one who made you into the witch. The one who killed you. I don't expect or deserve your forgiveness. I'd still like a chance to make amends in any way you wish. Even if it means being cursed for all eternity. I'm here to release your soul. Once that's done, that's it from me. No curses, no forgiveness, nothing. Huh. So you're cutting ties completely. Damn. Truthfully, I had no idea how you felt about me. But that ship sailed long ago. Far, far too long ago. I know. Nothing can change how I feel about you. Not anymore. I bet. I'm going to release your soul now. Would you hold off on that for a moment? I don't expect you to reciprocate, or even accept. But if I don't put my feelings into words, I'll never get them through to you. I think that's how she put it anyway. So I ask for this one last chance to put them into words. Morgana? Fine. Girl, with the white hair, my wife. Michelle, what of her? Something about that name always felt off to me. I could never shake the feeling that calling her that was somehow wrong. When I first saw her, first saw that smile, I was dead certain that she was what had always been missing from my life. That I had finally found what I'd been searching for. And now I know why. Because I felt you in her. The memories of you ingrained in my soul. You should know better than anyone that we're nothing alike. That girl wouldn't say anything remotely impolite, even if you held a knife to her throat. You're right. You're nothing alike. But you've got this aura about you that drew me in. Your soul's aura. I loved you dearly, Morgana. Got no right to ask anything of you, I know. Could you maybe smile for me? Just once is all I ask. I can't do it. I should. I know I should. That it would let us end things on a nice note, but I can't force myself to smile. It wouldn't be fair. Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for putting you in that position. I've said my piece. I'm ready now. Okay. Very well then. Farewell, Jacopo. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana. You couldn't have done anything more for him. Such as... I won't deny that my feelings about him are complicated, but the things he did to me, they eclipse all of that. That's a pretty sad ending for them. Merely learning the truth, hearing how he felt, is nowhere near enough to erase that. Couldn't you at least put a little hope in your next lives? That maybe you two could try again? No, I can't. I don't want to encounter him again. Ever. Then, if nothing else, could you try not to forget what he did? That he did save you once. I suppose, through my salvation, Michael, was not ultimately at his hands. I was watching to the very end. It may all have been an illusion constructed from the memories of everyone's souls, but that didn't make your actions any less real. The things you said to me, your earnest desperation. Learning the truth is only partly why I decided to release their souls. The biggest reason, however, was seeing how far you went for me. If you hadn't been there for my death, if you hadn't done what you did, then I would not have freed them. Nonetheless, it is unfair of me to wish you'd shown him that smile instead, Morgana. Well, that's the last of them. Shall we be off now? The front door should open now that I'm not willing it closed any longer. Shall we take leave of this house? There's one more stop to make. We gotta find Giselle. There's still one more soul that needs releasing. Even though we didn't actually go back and fix things, it definitely wasn't meaningless. Yeah, I see that now. Because it for anything, if for no other reason, it showed Morgana the truth. And yeah, and it's way better than adding time travel to the story. Agreed. As a matter of fact, I would have dinged the game for that during the LPT RPG review. Be my guide. Still holding Morgana's hand, I make my way to the wall. Showed her the truth and made the souls repent as best they could. Where the landscape painting hangs. You told me to come back if I ever figured out your name, George. Hey, Michael. Hello. How'd you figure out it was me? Of course I'd recognize my own brother. Well, granted I didn't recognize you at first. It's not every day your big bro winds up as a painting, huh? I'm just remembering George was the free-spirited one, right? The other one was... The hot one was somebody else, Didier. Came as quite a surprise when I finally made the connection. I'll bet it did. Hold on a minute. You two are brothers. I assumed you knew. Oh, hello there. Quite the companion you got there, Michael. So what brings you two to my little corner of the house? I've decided I'm going to extinguish the mansion. Oh, really? Well, isn't that something? You act like I just told you we're having what we're having for supper. This place is going to disappear. Forever. Well, yeah, sure, but what about this? I've lost interest in cursing them. Now that's some good news. You seem to get along surprisingly well with her. Time out the hoo-ha and nobody else to talk to will do that to you. Not that she ever gave me the time of day much. You expect me to stand here and listen to you yammer on for hours on end? The only thing you're good for is tossing rubbish into. Wait, so she was the one who put the master bedroom key in the painting? That she was. Just tossed her right in without even asking. Why would you get rid of the key to my room? I had no use for it, and being in that room always made me feel uncomfortable. It has this terrible warmth. I couldn't stand it. Sure glad she only tossed the key, though. Would have been bad if she'd thrown me out with it. I didn't see the need. I did find it curious that there was a soul that here I hadn't summoned, but you were ultimately harmless, so I simply pretended you weren't there. So she ignored him for hundreds of years? I understand now what you meant, Michael. When you said this world didn't belong only to me, your brother was able to find his way here because it's a place deeply bound to your soul. I'm no expert on none of this spiritual stuff, So, all I know is one day I was just here. Here and full of regret. So, if I had to guess, I'd say I probably ended up here because I wanted to be somewhere I could feel you, Michael. George. Would you be so kind as to let me apologize? I know quite well how sorry you are. And you've already apologized once besides. I went years not seeing you, not hearing from you, not having any idea what you thought about me. So when I got that painting, it was a huge blow to me emotionally. But talking to you again has reminded me of what kind of person you really are, George. You didn't mean to hurt me. Nope. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Mom said paint it, so I painted it. And when she told me she'd sent it off to you, I didn't really think anything of it. It never even crossed my mind to think about how you felt out there all alone. The kind of pain you were going through just because of the way you were born. When you're not the one on the receiving end, it's easy to be completely blind to your own actions. It never even once occurred to me that we'd essentially exiled Michael, not until it was all over. Really, all I can say is sorry you got stuck with such a dope for a brother. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds, and I would have realized what we were doing. And you know, at the time, I thought, what's it matter if you're a guy or a girl? You're still you. But I was wrong. It's not that simple. I can only imagine someone coming up to me one day and saying, nah, you're actually a girl. And everyone I care about suddenly not wanting anything to do with me. What a drag that'd be. I'm really sorry, bro. It's okay, George. I forgive you. Thanks. I wanted so badly to see you and Didier again, George. Oh, that was Michael. And while I didn't get that chance in life, I'm still glad to have the opportunity to talk to you now. To hear the things you never got to say. It pains me to see you reduced to this form. But knowing that it's a result of overwhelming regret, that you were just that desperate to find me again, it warms my heart. What on earth was that? Me trying my damnedest not to burst into tears. I don't think it worked very well, though. Does the canvas look wet? Could you feel it for me? I think I'll pass. Not feeling up for the brotherly love. Honestly, I'm relieved to see you're still the same George I always knew. Changing ain't really my thing after all. I suppose it isn't. This doesn't sit right with... What? Why not? You're letting him off the hook far too easily, Michael. I know very well just how much pain that painting caused you. It might as well have been what resurrected me. I've moved past that, though. Make him pay for what he did. Scribble on him. Do what? Scrawl your anger all over the ridiculous painting. I'm not angry. Now that's a damn fine idea if I ever heard one. You most definitely need to make me pay, Michael. George? Go on, hit me with everything you got. Scribble away. Even if I wanted to, I have nothing to draw with. Use your finger and I'll trace it out for you. Come on, what are you waiting for? He really wants me to draw on him, doesn't he? He more than deserves it, Michael. Bring it on, Michael. This conversation got bizarre fast. Okay, I'll draw on you. Oh my! Now that is downright ghastly. What? You might actually have potential, Michael. Voodoo dolls are the last thing I expected from you. 4 of them at that. And a demonic being alongside them. Oh, I can just feel your burning rancor, Michael. That's not what I drew at all. What is it then? It's not important. Is it their family? The mom, the 2 brothers, and... I have no idea what this is. Did they have a dog? I don't think they ever mentioned a dog. The cat they adopted. Oh, right! And Amy! Oh my god. Yeah, Amy's not here. He should have drawn Amy as like a skeleton up here. This kind of looks like a skeleton, actually. Maybe this is Amy. Like, these are the eyes, and here's the mouth. Now that that's finished, I think it's time we all took our leave. Oh, I can come too? Well, I might need a little help with that, Michael. As you can see, walking ain't one of my talents. It's alright, I'll carry you. Careful taking me off my hook. By all means, feel free to drop him, Michael. Ugly speckles or whatever. So when I clicked that there was another soul that needs release, I thought of Giselle, not him. I must say, that is a rather amusing sight. It's definitely not every day you get to see a full-grown man turn painting being hauled down a spooky hall by his little bro. George. It does make me wonder, though, are you two really brothers? I have a hard time believing you share even a drop of blood with this obnoxious lout, Michael. Giselle is gone, Fangy? I don't know. We are brothers, right, George? Whoa, whoa, don't start questioning it too, Michael. We are absolutely, positively, 100% brothers. She has a point, though. We don't even look that much alike. No shocking family plot twist here. I've known you since you were a baby, Michael. Maybe you were secretly illegitimate, George, not me. You're not going to let go of this, are you? I'm just playing with you. Oh my god, you just laughed. Yes? What? I didn't even get to see it. What was it like? Give me all the details. An ordinary laugh. Is the world ending? It's not that big of a deal. I laugh just like everyone else. No, you most certainly do not. Nope, you definitely don't. Well, so much for my tearful reunion with the brother I always knew and loved. Anyway, since we're breaking character here, how about one from our favorite witch too? And no cackling, that doesn't count. Excuse me, why would you want me to? Because every time I've seen you smile, it's never been about anything good. Plus, now that you got your face back, you're actually quite the looker. Go on, give me a big old grin. Not happening. Fun! Okay, fine. If you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Michael. What? Why? What do I have to do with anything? You can do it for old Michael, can't ya? Show him those pearly whites, girly. Oh, if you insist, I suppose I could smile for Michael, but only him. Excuse me, was that supposed to be my voice? Because I do not sound anything like that. Ah, look at you all puffing your cheeks and red in the face. George, try not to tease her too much. I don't know how anyone can stand you. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth exists solely to ruin the mood. You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to lighten up a bit. This is the end of a long journey, but that doesn't mean we have to make it a somber and uptight affair. I am genuinely not sure how I feel about you, the most somberly uptight man I know, telling me to lighten up. She's got a point, but I'm not that bad, am I? Anyway, shall we be off now? That we shall. The witch and her band of merry men departs. I'm not sure if one person and a talking painting constitutes a band. Giselle, I know we'll find each other again. I have faith we will. We'll cast away this mansion's darkness, and then I'll await your return, no matter how long it takes. Yes, I think it's time we took our leave. Having finished what we set out to do, and retrieved George as well, we make our way to the mansion's entrance hall. The large door stands there firmly shut, holding in the darkness as it has for countless generations. But that time is almost at its end. The door ready to be opened, to end the cycle and begin anew. Being a paintant for all these years, I never realized just how big a place this was. All I ever got to see was a hallway and maybe a couple of doors. I mean, talk about dull, you know? Feels like I'm on an adventure exploring a whole new world. A very, very dark world. Michael, would you mind shutting him up? If it were that simple. You blame me for being talkative. It was a lonely life. That would be fine if you had any concept of the appropriate time and place to be chatting. Are you aware of where we are right now? In the entrance, by the look of things. Precisely. The end of the centuries-long act of vengeance is but a few feet beyond that door, and you're chatting away like it's another day at court. Try to maintain at least a semblance of gravity, if you would. Starting to notice you're rather ceremonious, aren't you, Sir Morgana? This is a day to be celebrated, not to be all stiff and no fun allowed. Are you not at all worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies behind that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we. That is the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on. And so as long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end. Well said, Michael. If I had feet, you'd just swept me right off them. George, I'm begging you. I'm beginning to wonder what would happen if I threw you at a wall. Now, let's not do anything hasty. Oh, for God's sake. You're the guide, so let's go then, shall we? Morgana's right. There's a severe lack of gravity to the affair, but thanks to George's lackadaisical nature, whatever fear I had is gone as well. His ever-playful interactions bring me back to when I was alive, to when it was me and my two brothers, fond memories of the times we had together, of the admiration I had for them, of me chasing after them. Nothing could possibly replace those days, and I'm glad I had a chance to reflect on them, if briefly, before the end. I take a few steps forward, stopping just in front of the door, and Morgana steps up beside me. I envision the light that lies beyond it, radiant and white, waiting to rip through darkness, the light we seek, that we've long sought. I take in a deep breath, look up at the door, place my hand on its hard surface, and push it open, welcoming the future it holds. Burn the witch. Crucify the impure. We take one step back, then another. What we find outside is not a blinding realm of light, but churning blackness and the stench of blood and rust. Metal clanks, growing louder with each heavy footstep of the approaching night. Oh, it's hot, Didier. Death to the unholy. 3 days and 3 nights have hanged upon the cross, purified by the fires of heaven, death. What's going on? I never summoned this thing. But we remember when he was hot. Even though we're no longer holding hands, I can feel Morgana trembling. She's no longer the witch, the once absolute ruler of this domain, but a frightened young girl, placing my arm around her shoulders and pulling her in. I stare half dumbfounded at the night. It is our holy duty, as knights of the church, to deliver punishment unto the heathen, who made a pact with the devil. He did have escapades with Amy. That might be his biggest crime. The night draws nearer and nearer, the movement sluggish and constant. Didier. Wait, real? Crucify the witch. Pass judgment upon the demon. The word witch coming from the delirious, vengeful phantom's mouth proves far more distressful for Morgana than me. You hope the Black Knight ends my Iron Man and deletes the save file? Oh my god, imagine. So this is what the Black Knight looks like underneath that armor. Whoa, hold on. What's D doing here? Please, come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution. No, I'm not a witch. The knight is partially occluded by the dark, writhing miasma enveloping him, but he bears the same muscular build as Didier I knew in life. And he's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. Didier, this is not how I had hoped our reunion would go, Didier. Why, after so very long, is this how the three of us find each other again? Images flash through my mind. The day I left the Bollinger estate, when Didier promised me one day we would meet again. Them giving me a hug before I climbed into the carriage. First Didier, then George. Is this my fault? Is he here because I wish to be reunited with my brothers? Is this the way fate chose to grant that wish? Burn the witch. Oh, well, look at that. Guess I'm not your only blockhead brother, huh? George. Before you get any ideas, Michael, It's not your fault our long-awaited family reunion didn't quite go as planned. Just like me, D cursed himself. Only it seems he was a whole lot more powerful. God, I really didn't pay a lick of attention to either of you, did I? Unclean witch must be purified from this world. It is my duty. Hey, D, you in there? Shoved a whole lot of crap onto your plate. Keeping up with the family name. Taking care of Mom. Just about everything I could leave to you, I did. I must uphold the honor of the family name. And then when it was all over, I blamed you for killing our little brother. I was convinced that you could do anything. That you were stronger than anyone. Crucify the witch. I'm sorry, D. Burn the witch. He continues his plodding march forward, seemingly unaffected. It's impossible to tell if George's words are getting through to him. Stop, Didier, please. He did, yeah, he literally killed the little brother. And my words don't seem to be either. Didier! He's closing in on us, and we're running out of space to retreat. Alright, D, if that's how it's gotta be. But just this once, okay? The knight takes another heavy, merciless step towards us. He exits right here, and we're backed up against the wall. The end was almost within our grasp, yet it seems so hopelessly far away now. Please, Didier, don't do this! I know you don't actually want to hurt anyone. Didier! The knight raises his sword, thrusting it forward into a sharp swoosh. Death! Then, breaking free from my grasp, the painting leaps into the air. I'm really sorry. You got stuck with a pair of dolts for brothers. George! The next second, my eldest brother's blade pierces George. George! His form wavers momentarily before fading into darkness, his voice lingering behind me. Don't worry about me, Michael. I got my share of redemption already. I know we can be a bit of a pain, but do for D what you did for me, would ya? Now go on, call out to him. Suck in a big old breath and call out to our brother with everything you got. George! It is my duty to punish the impure. To uphold the Bollinger name. Didier! Despite having already stabbed George, the knight continues his march. Blade pointed straight at me, I clench my teeth and glare at my eldest brother. Running is out of the question. This doesn't have to go on any longer. It is my duty, as the eldest son. You deserve to be freed from your bonds as well. Beyond from this world. Didier! I shout his name with every ounce of air in my lungs. His eyes go wide, and his blade swerves off course, missing my heart. Ugh! And piercing my gut instead. Didier, it's okay. You can let go now. It's not your responsibility anymore. You have no duty to anything anymore. Didier! I reach out my hand for my brother. Blood spills from the hole in my abdomen in rhythmic spurts. And I can feel something hot rising in my throat. That doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop my hand crawling through the air toward him. He's my brother. I have to do whatever I can for him. Free him. Bring him back. Didier, there's nothing here in need of your judgment. With shaking fingers, I clasp my brother's arm. I squeeze, holding on with what vigor remains, and give another shout. Look me in the eyes, Didier, please. Hear my voice. Hear your brother's voice. I can't stand to lose anyone else. If you don't come to your senses, then George's sacrifice will be in vain. It's time for you to break free. For all three of us to be free of the curses we placed ourselves. Isn't George gone? Like, isn't his, like, soul, like, eradicated because he got deleted or whatever? Didier, please! I hear a sound that's somewhere between a grunt and a gasp. My vision's gone blurry, so I blink hard several times, clearing my eyes to get a better look at him. Didier. I see his face, twisted in anguish. Michael. Didier. Thank goodness. He's with Giselle now. Oh, that's... You heard my voice. Did I do this to you, Michael? It's nothing. I made the same terrible mistake once more. Didier, I caused you harm. Attempted to take your life. It's alright, Didier. Michael, release yourself from the chains that bind you. But those aren't your duties anymore. You don't have to protect the family name or uphold the Order's standards. You can do as you wish. Punish me for doing my wrongdoing. Please, Michael, punish me, Didier. Cast judgment upon me. It's all in the past. Judgment is not necessary for anyone. That doesn't change what I did. Killed you. I hanged you on a cross. I must be made to pay for my sins. It's kind of right. Punish me, Michael. I implore you. Didier. I think I know now why you never removed your helm that day. Why you remained silent for the whole ordeal. Michael, you were crying, weren't you? Weeping for me. Your tears are atonement enough for me. Michael, you bore a great deal of responsibility in life. As the Bollinger's firstborn, you were obligated to protect the family's honor. And as a knight of the church, you were tasked with the duty of my execution. You had no other choice. I sincerely believe there was nothing else you could have done. I bear no grudge against you, no resentment for the decisions you were forced to make. And I certainly don't curse you. Let's just forget it all. It's long over and done. Still, it was a mistake I never should have made. It took the life of the purest soul I know. There is no honor in that, Didier. I put protecting our family name above protecting my actual family. You trusted me. You believed in me to the very end, and I killed you. I knew what I was doing. I knew you weren't cursed. I knew you weren't a witch. I knew you weren't a demon child. You were never unclean. You're my brother, your family, and I robbed you of your life. There's no one in this world more unfit to be a knight than me. You don't have to be a knight anymore. You don't have to be the Bollinger's firstborn son. Deciding not to wear those labels won't make you any less the brother I always loved. I'm honored to have been born into the same family as you. Michael, there's something I never had the chance to tell you, Didier. All my life, I looked up to you, admired you, and I still do even now. If there's a next life awaiting us, I hope we can be brothers again, Didier. Would you mind if I wished for that? No, of course not. Please do. And I hope you'll allow me to wish for the same. I love you, Michael. My dear little brother. Upon those words, Didier's phantom begins fading away. A white mist that almost looks like it's made of undulating particles of light rises up around him, and before he's completely enveloped, I catch a glimpse of the tears-streaked cheeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him crying. I attempt to give him a smile in return, but if I were to guess, I'd say it probably looks rather forced. The fact that I'm fighting back tears at the same time certainly isn't doing anything to make it convincing. Before he completely faded away, I wrapped my arms around my brother's shoulders, much like he did for me on the day of my exile. Not as an eternal farewell, but as a promise that we'll meet again. Alright, so my soul form got stabbed, but I guess we're fine. Also, if you don't pick up the George painting, do you just get killed by Didier and that's that? I feel like that was probably what would happen. Didier, George. Right now, in this moment, I have no regrets about having been born a Bollinger. All I have is great pride. So I pray that one day, be it 10 or 1,000 years from now, the three of us can be reunited. He'd kill you and delete your save file. If any visual novel ever had that as a mechanic, that is truly devilish. I've got a number of things going through my mind right now, Morgana. I'm just not sure how to put any of it into words. Don't worry. Those words say everything. You can cry if you want. I won't mock you, I promise. I can think of a game that kind of does that, but it's not a VN and it's a big spoiler. Oh god. Yeah, don't tell me. No, I won't. I'll save my tears for our reunion. Oh, that painting, it didn't have to get itself destroyed. He'll be fine, I'm sure. I have faith. As you know quite well, wishes do come true. Do tell us if it's on the list. Yeah, actually. Would you mind giving me a hand, Morgana? I'm going to need a little help getting back up. Skelly hand. After a moment's pause, she hesitantly extends her fleshless hand. I clasp the bones and with her aid pull myself to my feet. Blood spurts from my gut as I do. There's not much in the way of pain, strangely, only creeping exhaustion. I feel like my legs will give out if I so much as give them the chance. Leaning on Morgana, we make our way back to the entrance. You're not going to disappear, are you? Don't worry, Morgana. Disappear. Alright. Let's open the door together. Bring light into this world of darkness. Move forward. Start anew. Brighter. Let's... I take in a deep breath. I look up at the door. My eyes on the future. It's time to open the door. Not to an ending, but the door to a new beginning. May the world that awaits us be filled with light. Immersed in a near blinding light, we press onward. It's white in all directions, not the tiniest speck of color to contaminate it. In fact, the conception of direction doesn't seem to exist in this world. Hey, Kiswan, thank you. Only pure, never-ending white. Actually, no, that's not right, now that I consider it. I was thinking of white as an absence of color, but white, the color, fills the plane. It's all disappearing. We made the right choice, didn't we? Yes, this is how it is meant to be. You're a rather impressive man, I hope you realize. Not only did you free 3 trapped souls, you also saved your brother. Didn't do any of that alone. Without help, I doubt I would have made it this far. I would have shattered again, until nothing was left. And Giselle gave you that strength. She did. So what? You're going to wait here for her? I am. In that condition, I won't let myself disappear before she's made it back. Do you remember the warnings I gave you in the mansion? About how if a soul is damaged and destroyed, it's wholly and utterly erased from existence. Never to return in any shape or form. If you lose much more blood, that will happen to you. You'll be erased forever. Worry, won't let that happen. You push yourself too hard, Michael. I feel like you're hurt in some way almost every time I see you. Though I suppose about half of that would be my doing. You may have caused some pain. But I also wouldn't be here without you. What? I mean it. If you say so. Besides, I've practically only ever seen you hurt too. I suppose so. Whatever form your soul may assume in your next life, I'll be praying there's far less pain in it for you. This is why I'll never get along with you. Always concerned about others. Can I ask you something? If you were to be born again, would you want it to be in a fully male body? That's what I've always wanted, so yes, I would. In your next life, if you have one, do you want to see Giselle again? Absolutely, I do. And what if you could only have one or the other? Which would you choose? Do you even need to ask? Giselle, clearly. No, I suppose not. You know, I'm neither a witch nor a saint, just an ordinary powerless soul now, so my wishes aren't likely to cause any more miracles. But I think I'll wish for something anyway. For what? Not telling. Ah, she smiled. Well, I'll be off. Alright. I didn't think it would be so difficult to come up with parting words. You can say whatever you like. First thing that comes to mind is fine. Cool, thanks. Okay. Then I'll say to you the same thing I said to them. Farewell, Michael. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Farewell indeed. If, however, if by some infinitesimally low chance we do happen to meet again, would you be my friend? Morgana, absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm not a nice person, you know. I'm nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude, to cause you much grief and pain. Worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. Oh, you're fine as you are. You don't need to change. So let's meet up in our next lives and become good friends. Not good friends and not acquaintances either. Just plain friends, understood? Understood. I'm rather looking forward to it. Now this is goodbye for real, so I suppose I'll part with some uncharacteristic honesty. I'm glad to have had you in my life, Michael, and thank you for everything. Morgana, farewell. Until our souls cross paths once more. So quiet. So unbelievably desolate. Giselle, you endured centuries waiting for me to return. I'll wait right here for as long as I must. It's all disappearing. I can feel the mansion, that gathering place for the departed, fading away. I did it, Giselle. I broke the curse. I cast off the darkness. I saved Morgana and all the other souls trapped there. I couldn't have done it without you. I miss you, Giselle. All I want is to see your face, to hear your voice, feel your warmth. Tell you how much I love your smile. Where are you, Giselle? I know I said I wouldn't let myself disappear until you came back. And I'm wishing with all my might for my body to hold out. It doesn't seem to be working very well. Coming to realize as I grow weaker that the will of one man is nothing in the face of the will of the universe. Where are you, Giselle? Can't see you anywhere. Giselle, you better hurry up or else his soul is gonna get yeeted forever. I can see right through my hands, Giselle. My lower body is already gone, and the rest of it is following. I hope you'll still be able to find me, even without a body. Maybe this already happened to her. I've lost my voice now, Giselle. I don't have much left to lose. I'm dissolving into the light. Say my name, Giselle. I want to hear you say my name. I'm here, waiting for you. Where are you, Giselle? Am I making it through to you, even a little? I need you. I can't allow myself to disappear until you've returned. Alright, the bedroom. Giselle. Michael. Aw. That's a really nice picture. Finally, I found you. Sorry it took so long. Don't worry, Michael. I know that's you. I'll always be able to recognize you no matter what. You don't have to be afraid. I wouldn't have made it out if it weren't for you, Michael. A ray of light reached deep into the darkness, all the way down to where I was lost. It was a light more radiant than anything I'd ever seen. So much so, I couldn't hold back my tears. You fought so very hard. You broke the mansion's curse, released it from the darkness. I was right about you. You are strong, immeasurably so. Can you hear me there, Michael? I'm sorry I kept you waiting so long, for letting you deteriorate like this. But thank you. Thank you for waiting. Now it's time for us to return, back to our rightful places. So please, Michael, don't disappear on me. Don't let your soul's flame be extinguished. I beg you, keep holding on. There's still so much I need to tell you. I want to hear your voice. I want to feel your arms around me once more. I don't care when, as long as I have that someday. So that means I need you to not disappear on me. Michael? Michael? I believe in you, Michael. I believe you're still there, that you're still holding on, so I ask that one day you'll come and take my hand again. Hey, we it! Oh my god, hey Diamond. Holy shit. We made it to the end. Hey, Bubble Wand. Holy cow, guys.
Yay, it's done!
Oh lord, there's a tiny bit more. I mean, I'm assuming after the credits it's gonna give us a scene that shows that Michael and Giselle have a reunion.
You'll never get out!
So... is it time for the LPT RPG review? I think Fata Morgana is an extremely sound visual novel. It has really good background art. It has amazing music. I will not be doing more content. I'm kind of... so, let's start with the positives. I like the music a lot. And I really liked the first 3 door. Oh my god, it's not time for the LPT RPG review yet. Hello, anybody in there? Class is about to start. Last time I checked, the teacher never came in through. Right, just a second. You've been doing that a lot lately, just staring out the window, watching for something or just spacing out. There's this girl who's usually out there around this time of day. Right over there, see her? Oh, that one? Looks like she goes to a junior high a few streets down. That's what I thought. Look at her hair, that flaxen color.
Oh my god.
Same as mine. Wanna go chat sometime? I don't know where to begin. Anyways, ice cream. It's a great way to get slapped. I'm not trying to pick her up. You're lying to yourself, man. No, I don't know, like I'm curious, that's all. Curious what makes your head work. Because it sure ain't what everyone else's runs on. Now get moving, it's almost time for class. Oh wait, I'm coming. Wonder what her name is. Ice cream. Oh my god. The flaxen hair girl likes the boy that has flaxen hair. And now she's calling him the prince. Hear a smell. Snip, snip. So this is them in their next life. This is the swordsman. Far from perfect. Japanese really are a humble lot, aren't you? What is it? I thought I saw a woman I recognize. We get a lot of tourists from parts of the world around here. She's not Japanese. No, I must have been imagining it. This is my first time in France, after all. So this is Paula and the swordsman. Torture museum. God damn, that hurt. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Watch where you're walking, why don't you? You're so desperate to make a damn ruckus. Find a cafe somewhere. Excuse me. I apologize, didn't I? Such a dickwad. Wavy-haired man. I wonder who this is. Oh, it's the Lord Jacopo. Okay. So they're in more, like, modern time now. They've all been reincarnated. Apparently they're all in France, and they're still gonna meet the people that they are fated to meet. Many ages ago, there was a mansion. So this is Giselle. Okay. There I waited for him to return. He almost lost his soul trying to save me. I'm once again waiting for him. I'm making my way to where the mansion once stood. A single red rose in hand. A rose containing all my hopes, dreams, and loves. A prayer that I might one day reach you. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. I probably sound like I'm out of my mind, waiting for a man who exists only in my memories. A man who, in my 21 years of life, I've never even once caught a glimpse of. But that doesn't matter, because I know how much he means to me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I will wait. I will trust the memories burned into my soul. I don't know when he'll show up, or even if he will. Maybe we'll never meet in this life. Maybe I'll wait until I've grown old and died. But should that happen, I'll continue waiting for you in my next life. And the one after that, if I have to. I'll always be waiting, no matter how long it may take. How great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume. I'll wait as long as it takes. Another 100, another 1,000 years. So just promise you'll come back for me. Michael. Okay. Resuming the LPT RPG review. Great visuals. Great music. For me, the game kind of peaked early because I liked the structure of the first 3 doors a little bit more than when we got so involved in the Morgana plot. Although I realized that that's like the game's central plot and that we needed to get there. The gag exciting moments were all in doors 1, 2, and 3 for me. Though not to say we weren't gagged later in the game, but like those are going to be the most memorable times for me, like especially door 1 and door 3. An issue I have with this game is it's kind of a double-edged sword because this game really highly commits to its characters. Me gagging Michael doesn't count. True. It commits to its characters and storytelling so much that some scenes get really dragged out. Really, really, really detailed explanations, sometimes of things that we've already done. Like, retelling from this perspective, even though it's just slightly different. And it's like, oh man. It's hard to dig a game because it's too detailed, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. And as the player, like, I am just ready for this to be over by the time we get to the end. And I know you guys can feel that energy on this one. I really did like this game, but I am also ready for this game to be done. And we've had this feeling with a lot of other games as well, where it just ends up dragging on a little bit too long, and it can kind of hurt it for me when it does that. I would still recommend this to visual novel fans. I really, really liked it myself, but I think the LPT RPG score is going to be an 8 out of 10. It just dragged a little bit too long in some areas for me to give it anything higher than that. And I'm very curious to hear how you guys thought of the game. Suiko 5 Syndrome? Oh man. Suikoden 5 is also a really drawn out game. This was one of the most unique games I've ever played. I honestly don't think I've played anything else ever that was like this. Like, this was a great experience. I appreciate the recommendation Dots and M-Man again for buying this for me for Christmas last year. It was really nice. But with that, I am happy to close the door on Fata Morgana, so to speak. But I really liked the game. I liked the characters. I have to wait any longer. Giselle. Here for you. Yes. Great, there doesn't need to be dialogue for this scene. There doesn't. If it does a scene with no dialogue, I will applaud the game. That's super cute. Okay, wait, there are memories. Memories ingrained in my soul. I remember there once stood a mansion here, in which many tragedies took place, in which great pain was suffered. Much of what happened in those walls was unspeakable, but there are events I should never have forgotten. Because amidst all the misfortune, I attained something irreplaceable. Giselle, there's so much I have to say, so much I want you to know, but I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to get all that. So for the time being, allow me to say this. Giselle. Your smile is the light of my life. I want to spend my days with you. And that smile, with that smile always at my side. And nothing will get in our way. Ending 8. Fata Morgana. There is 8 endings in this game? Holy shit. Fata Morgana. 8 out of 10. We did it. Fata Fridays are officially coming to a close. I already ordered Process of Elimination, and it will be here on Tuesday. So I will be making a stream schedule tomorrow. And we will be starting a new Iron Man this week in Fire Emblem. And we will be starting Process of Elimination on Saturday, so don't miss that, visual novel fans. Again, a big thanks to Dots and M-Man for the recommendation and gift of the actual game itself. You should always choose C. C, wait, what do you mean C? Oh! Through Process of Elimination.
And they lived happily ever after.
Indeed, they did. Alright guys, that's it for stream today. We beat this by 7, nice, okay. I will see you guys this week. I'm not sure if I'm streaming tomorrow or not, I think I am not. But if I am not, then I'll be here on Tuesday. I will see you guys later, everyone have a good night.